Today's creepy, scary story time is about why you should not tell Randonautica to take you to something scary. So this story takes place in Mayfield, Kentucky in 2021 when Randonautica was really popular. So my follower, her ex-roommate, and her fiance at the time, so ex-fiance, decided to try Randonautica, and they set the intention for something scary. The thing that they got was a few blocks away, and so they decided to walk because she said that her ex-fiance had been drinking, the roommate didn't have a license, and my follower just did not like to drive. So they chose to walk because it wasn't that far anyway. So they walk and they get to this big mansion. It's a well-known mansion in that area. She said it has an upstairs like balcony and window, and it's on a giant piece of property. They get to the house and they don't want to walk on the property because she felt weird about that, which I understand that. I wouldn't want to walk on someone else's property either. She said it's like a long walk up to the house anyway, and they don't want to do that. So they're just standing there for like 5 minutes, and she's kind of like, okay, this was a waste of time. She also said that it's October and this specific mansion never decorates, which is important for the next thing. So they start to leave because, like I said, she was like, this is such a waste. This was so stupid. Nothing happened. We didn't find anything. And they start to walk away, and she looks up one more time at that window with the balcony and sees a woman in what appears to be a wedding dress. She found it to be really odd because, again, they don't decorate or do anything creepy typically. So she was like, she showed her roommate and fiance at the time, and they all got really freaked out, but they were like, maybe they were just tired of us standing here in front of their house, and they decided to try and creep us out to get us to leave. And so they ended up leaving. Well, a few days later, they were like, let's just try again. So this time they set the intention for the word run. Now this time it was dark outside. It was about 10 or 11 p.m., but she said it wasn't a big deal because the location that it picked was only a few blocks away, and it was at a football stadium in an area where she was very familiar with because she did marching band there. Right next to it was the dog park, and right next to that was where her grandma works at the Senior Citizen Center. And so she was like, there's a lot of lights out there, so I didn't think that it would be that bad. And so they head over there. They get over there and they start walking through the grass, and this black car starts slowly like creeping near them. And immediately she's like, okay, I don't play about my safety. I have a pocket tool, a taser, and pepper spray. So this car keeps following them. So finally she stops and looks at the car and gives the "can I help you" kind of gesture. And this is when a man in his late 40s, early 50s rolls down his window and is trying to convince them to get in the car. She tells, her ex-fiance and her roommate, we need to go, like speed walk. Don't walk slow, and we don't need to go back the same way we came. We need to go another way. Let's try to get to this gas station. I think she said it's called Pockets gas station, so they can be around people, because right now they're alone out at nighttime and this is not a good situation. So they start rushing to this gas station, and they have to run down the highway for like quite a while, and they're on the right side, and they're like, okay, well, we're on the highway, we should be good because at least here there's cars passing by, and if we scream, I'm sure someone would notice, right? So like I said, they're on the right side of the road, and the gas station is going to be up there on the left side of the road. But they have to pass this trailer park. When they start to pass this trailer park, this beam of light starts blinding them. And so she tells them, like, stop, let me see what the hell this is. And so she, like, you know how you put your hand out and you try to cover the light so you can see the person behind the light that's blinding you? Well, it's creepy guy in the black car. So she tells them, run. This man starts yelling at them in Spanish, and he's shining the light on them, like spotlighting them while they're running down the highway. So they get all the way to the red light, and they said they didn't even wait for the light to turn. They just ran straight across the street, and there's a fence around the gas station, so you have to go like around another way to get in there. But they said they just had to jump the fence. They ran in the store, and the two ladies that were working there were asking, like, are you guys okay? And they're like, no. There is a creepy man in a black car who is literally chasing us and has followed us all the way from the football field. Can you please call the cops if he pulls in here? So Sure enough, they see out the glass, here comes that black car pulling up to the gas pumps. So the ladies are like, if he comes inside, we're gonna call the cops. Go hide in the bathroom. So they said they hid in the bathroom for like 20 minutes, and I guess he never even got out of the car. I mean, I personally think they should have still called the cops, but I guess they didn't. But she ended up calling her ex-fiance's mom to come and get them, and she said she will never ever play Randonautica again, that she's lived there since 2011, I think she said, and that she's never experienced someone so evil, that his eyes weren't even just brown, they were like black, and she could just feel his evil, bad intentions, but that she's never seen him or this car ever again, and it was just such an insane, horrifying experience. Be careful what you ask Randonautica to take you to.
Spooky story time. A follower named Lily sent me this story and she wanted to name it Real Illusions. And with the story, Lily says that this is one of the very few memories that she still has of her mom. She says that her mom had passed away when she was only 9 years old, and one time at the dinner table, she expressed to the whole family that she was suddenly starting to encounter paranormal things. And Lily says that her mom was very superstitious while her dad was more of a non-believer. And Lily says that thankfully throughout the years, their financial situation has improved drastically, but she remembers growing up very poor to the point that they couldn't even afford a washing machine, and her mom had to hand wash everybody's clothes. On Friday afternoon, her mom gets ready in the restroom, puts all the dirty clothes in the bathtub to start washing everybody's clothes, and she knew that it was going to take her a while because there's 5 children, and she decided to turn on her radio. And she said that suddenly her mom felt like this cold gust of wind. It even gave her goosebumps. And then the radio turned into like this weird staticky sound. And according to her mom, it sounded a little demonic. She stopped what she was doing immediately. She screamed. She was so scared. She runs to the neighbor's house, but nobody was there. She waited outside, but she was so exhausted due to the scorching heat that she decided to go back inside. She was feeling a little dizzy, so she decided to lay down. And in this dreamlike state, she hears Lily's voice. And Lily is saying, "Mom, I'm here, open the door." But her mom knew that that was impossible because Lily didn't know how to commute on her own. Mama woke up in a cold sweat, rapid heartbeat, and she knew immediately something was off. So she gets up, gets dressed, rushes to Lily's school to check her out early. And Lily said that she was kind of confused when her mom showed up to pick her up early because it was way earlier than dismissal time, but she didn't say anything, she didn't question it, she just went along. About 3 hours later, Lily is sitting down in her pajamas, eating some snacks, and out of nowhere, she hears people screaming, glass shattering. She says that there was a whole brawl going on in her neighborhood down the street, started by a group of drunk middle-aged men. The police came, everything got settled, and her mom says that at the time that this brawl was happening was the exact time that Lily and her mom would be walking home from school, like literally passing by that same area from school. And she left a little note to her mom that I'm going to read as well. Lily says, "I miss you so much, Mom. Despite being drained all the time, your instincts and intuition are still always sharp and never fail to keep me safe. I didn't realize how much labor we all put you through until around last year when I really thought that I would be starting my own family in a few years." Thank you so much to Lily for sending your story. It is crazy that a mother's intuition is always spot on. When a mama knows something is wrong, you listen. And if you guys have any other stories you'd like for me to read, please send them via DM or email, and I love to read them, and I will see you guys in the next spooky story. Bye! Spooky story time. A follower that wants to remain anonymous sent me this story, and we're going to call it My Mother, My Ghost. For the sake of this story, we're going to call her Kate. Kate says that when she was about 5 years old, her mother unfortunately passed. She says that about 2 months after her passing, she started seeing things. She says that she started seeing dark figures peeking around corners, and she would even see things in the mirror. Kate says that one night she woke up to use the restroom, and as she was leaving, she looked up at the mirror and she saw her mom. But she didn't look like her normal self. She explained that her mom looked a lot more relaxed than usual. Her nose looked droopy, her eyes were bloodshot, and her teeth were like red. Well, that scared her to death, so she turned on the light immediately, and the figure in the mirror, which she thought was her mom, was gone. Years have passed and Kate says that she still sees her mom. She says that sometimes it looks like her mom is saying something, she's moving her mouth, but words aren't coming out. And other times she can hear grunts or like high-pitched noises. Kate says that when she does see her, she often does get like that scared feeling, but other times she does feel the need to like want to reconnect with her mom. She says that it's the weirdest thing because sometimes that she sees her, she can tell like, oh my gosh, that's my mom. And other times she's getting a completely different vibe. Kate also says that that house has a spirit of an elderly woman, and she knows for a fact that that spirit is not a good one. She's not sure if she should believe 100% that what she's seeing is her mom. And even though she has that feeling in the back of her mind, it's still hard to detach because, I mean, that's her mom. What do you guys think? Thank you so much to Kate for sending me this spooky story. Honestly, I wouldn't even know because I get it. Like, it's spooky, but it's also sad at the same time because you feel like that's your mama. If you guys have any spooky stories that you'd like to share, please send them via DM or email, and I'd love to read them, and I will see you guys in the next spooky story. Bye! Spooky story time. A follower that wants to remain anonymous sent me the story, and we're going to call it The Bike Trail. For the sake of the story, we'll call her Allie. Allie is from Singapore, and she says that on a regular Sunday, her and her then boyfriend decided to go to this place called Coney Island. It is a biking park. She says it was a normal day. People were there with their families because it was Sunday fun day. Allie says that on Sundays the bike closed at 7, so they had a little bit over an hour to continue cycling. She says that her then boyfriend, which we'll call Ben, was cycling in front of her. She was behind him, and she had one of those little baskets that sit on the bike, and the stuff that was on the bike just kept on falling. She would hit little bumps and the stuff would fall off. So Ben turns around and tells her, hurry up, come on, catch up. And Allie's like, okay, hold on. Bends over, stops, and picks up the stuff, puts it in the basket, and when she looks up, Ben is like far. She's like, how the hell did that happen? She says literally from 1 second to the next, he was like far. So she gets on the bike and she's hauling. She's like, okay, I need to catch up to him. She's literally hauling ass at this point. And she says that the distance is not getting any better. Like, he's still so far away. And she realizes that she's now getting deeper and deeper into this biking trail. Suddenly, a park ranger approaches her and he's like, hey girl, it's getting a little late. You need to start going back. We close at 7. And she's like, okay, but my boyfriend just passed you, so I need to like alert him that we need to go. And he's like, I don't know what you're talking about. There's no one there. Allie is dumbfounded because she's like, yeah, Ben, my boyfriend, just cycled past you. What do you mean you didn't see him? Like, he just passed you. And it is then that Ben now comes up from behind her and tells her, where the hell have you been this whole time? I've been looking for you for like 30 minutes. That he was cycling, turns around, and she's gone. So Allie tells Ben, and she's like, what are you talking about? I saw you cycling way ahead of me. You turned around and you were like, come on, catch up. And I'm trying to catch up to you, but what do you mean you didn't see me? She points in the direction where she saw him, and he's like, I wasn't over there. I went this way, not that way. So the park ranger had to drive them out of the area because of how deep they were in, and she literally doesn't know how they lost track of time. He was looking for her for 30 minutes. She swears that she looked down because of stuff in the basket was falling off. She looks up and he's over here, but Ben swears that he never went to that direction. He was in the completely opposite direction. What do you guys think? Thank you so much to Allie for sending me this spooky story. If you guys have any other stories that you'd like for me to share, please send them via DM or email, and I'd love to read them, and I will see you guys in the next spooky story. Bye!
Story time, because I really cannot stop thinking about this, so stay tuned and listen throughout the story. Just listen. So tell me, what would you do in the situation? Because, again, I just cannot stop thinking about it. Okay, so bam, so a few nights ago, I ordered something from food delivery. You know, I'm not gonna say their name, just keep it at a minimum. You know, it was good. Nothing was going on. Like, I honestly just wanted a Coke and some fries. That's it. So yeah, nothing weird, right? So I'm home alone. You know, I'm waiting on the driver. They said they're 5 minutes here, 2 minutes there. So again, I'm just waiting. You know, and boom, finally the driver says, I'm leaving the order at the door. So you know me, I get up, go get the order, thinking nothing's, you know, You got it. But tell me why when I opened the door, it was no food there. Instead, there was an envelope sitting on my doorstep. Y'all, so me being confused, I picked it up, I go back inside and I opened it. Y'all, tell me why somebody wrote on an envelope, do not eat it, throw it away. Y'all, so I ain't even gonna lie, at this point, I'm literally bricks. My heart is sank. I'm literally nervous, like, what's going on? Yeah, so that's when I opened the app and tell me why the delivery driver's profile is gone. When I say it's gone like it was not existing at all. Like, what? So at this point, I'm in my house. I'm scared. I'm confused. I don't know what's going on because like I'm losing my mind. Like the profile was just there. You told me that you were delivering my food. Like, what? If you thought I answered, you crazy. Good thing I had a peephole on my door because if you didn't think that I was gonna look out of it, I definitely did. Yeah, why this envelope said you're welcome? Like, was somebody trying to warn me, or am I overthinking? What would you do in this situation? Y'all let me know. Cause am I tripping? I don't know. Y'all let me know.
I'm literally about to fucking cry. The scariest fucking shit just happened to me. Like, I'm literally still shaking. Okay, so it's still light outside, so I was like, I'm gonna walk to the store, buy my ass some soap, right? It's like a 10-minute walk. So I walk to the store, everything's fine. But like 2 minutes into my walk back home, right? There's this guy, and he starts walking really close behind me, like literally fucking 5 feet behind me, right? And I was getting nervous. But then he started talking. But like when I get really nervous, I like can't understand English. So I didn't know if he was talking to me or like on the phone or something. So I was like, you know what? I'm getting really like bad vibes. So I'm gonna pretend to be texting, but I'm gonna be taking a video, right? So I was taking this video, whatever, and like halfway through, my mom called me, and like thank God she called me because that's when he left me alone, which means something weird was going on. But like y'all literally listen to what he says in this video.
I ain't never seen two pretty best friends. It's always.
Let's talk about something terrifying. So if you've seen a lot of my videos, then you know that this is very unusual for me to be filming from my bed. And before I get into my own personal experience that happened a couple nights ago, I just need to know if anyone else has experienced waking up in the middle of the night right before something weird happens. I don't know how else to explain it other than I woke up knowing that something was wrong or something was going to happen. And I was trying to calm myself down because I have terrible anxiety and I do not sleep very well, period. So I thought I was having a panic attack and tried to get myself to go back to sleep. I consistently have my TV running because I do not like silence. I do not like the dark. I like hearing noise because it makes me feel like I'm not by myself. Anyways, I'm trying to get myself to go back to sleep and I just cannot fall back asleep. I'm like wide awake at 3:40 in the morning. And I have these vinyl records like hanging up in my room. They've been there for around 2.5, 3 years. And I've never had this issue before. So as I'm easing myself back into sleep and like trying to convince myself that there's nothing wrong and I just like woke up for no reason, one of my vinyls falls off the wall. So I'm sitting there thinking like, that's really weird. Maybe it's all the fans going on in my room because I have like 3 fans during the summertime. And I'm still trying to get myself to go to sleep. Probably 15-20 minutes later, the freaking shelf that my vinyl was sitting on comes off the wall. Now, mind you, all of these little shelves are secured in the wall. Every single one of them has their own screws and anchors into the wall. And I don't know what it was. In that moment, I knew that I was awake for that reason. I don't know what it was. That's why I'm asking if people have had experiences like this that they just cannot explain. And this is also not the first time where I have woken up right before something weird happens or like something coincidental happens. And if you've been here a long time, then you know exactly what I'm about to say. I do not believe in coincidences like that. Take that as you will, but I do not believe in coincidences. But yeah, if anyone has experiences with stuff like that happening, please let me know, because I tried telling other people about it and a lot of people were like, that's really weird.
Should we show them the older homestead?
Yeah, let's go. As you know.
No, it's not. No, it's not. Was that you?
Yeah, that's on either side.
They went to both.
Yeah.
Let's read some more scary stories that were sent to us. On a Sunday night when I was around 11 to 12 years old, I was playing on a log outside by myself after my cousins went inside. As I was playing outside, I heard someone behind the bush calling my name. I thought my older cousin was playing a joke on me, So I called out saying that it wasn't funny, but then something started to call me over. I got scared and went inside to see all of my cousins in the house. I asked my older cousin if he was playing a joke on me, calling my name outside, but he said he was in the bathroom the whole time, and my other cousins agreed they saw him. My younger cousin went outside to see what was going on, and she came back inside horrified. She said she saw a tall figure running across the yard, laughing like a maniac. So then my older cousin went outside to check what was going on, and he said he saw the figure waving and disappearing. Oh, girl, I feel like I can picture that in my mind, and it sounds like a Skiggly Wiggly. That one was really creepy. This story happened when I was younger. We live in a busy city here in the Philippines. We lived in an old 2-story house that had been renovated to look more modern. When my sister was 4 or 5 years old, my grandma would often hear my sister laughing by herself, and my grandma would also get severely sick often. One time, my parents were hanging out with their friends in our living room, and my mom shouted at me, "Stop running, you might fall." My mom swore she saw me running behind the couch, but when I answered, "What?" from upstairs, my mom got silent. I still remember the feeling I got when my mom told me about this. Fast forward to my early teens, I was about 16 years old at the time. It was my turn to clean the house, and I was dreading mopping our stairs. For context, our stairs are made of solid wood, and every night around midnight, I would always hear our wooden stairs creaking like someone was standing on them. Anyway, I went to clean the stairs, and I had about 6 to 8 steps left. What I saw made my body freeze. The steps leading to our second floor were dark, and I saw 2 dirty-looking feet standing on one of the stairs I was just about to mop. I remember saying, "The water is dirty," acting like I needed to change the mop water, hoping it wouldn't notice I saw it. I told my mother about what happened, and she agreed that there was really something wrong with our house. We moved to a new neighborhood a few years later into an apartment. My first time going to it, I was helping my mom move stuff in. I remember getting chills when I was moving some stuff inside, and in the corner of my eye, I saw a dark figure walking past our screen door. I told my mom about this, and she said, "Let's just endure it. We live in a new house now, so let's see how this new life turns out." That one's really creepy too. I feel like that sounds like a movie or something.
Hello and welcome back to a series of spooky stories, The Haunted Tea Spill, featuring my cute necklaces. Love them so much. I wear them literally every day. This one is new. It's a tarot card. It's the Star. They have a bunch of different ones. I know that you can't really see it, and I'm not going to get a good close-up, so just click on the link and you can see the picture and see all the various different ones. Very cute and would make a fantastic Christmas gift. Anyways, onto the story. I love your page and the stories you tell. Personally, I've had countless paranormal experiences over the years, many instances, small one-off type things. However, a couple actually stand out as being truly just unexplainable stories that my kids love to have me retell to literally everyone. They've wanted me to share them online for years, and this is the first time I've actually sent one in, so here it goes. Thank you for choosing us. I was probably 13 years old, and my mom, sister, and I had moved into my grandparents' house temporarily after my mom's divorce. They have a large mid-century home that isn't really a split level, but 3 staggered stories with 3 bedrooms and 2 bathrooms on the top floor, a living room, kitchen, and dining room on the second floor. Because I wanted my own space, I had a makeshift room in the corner of the living room on the second level with just a bed on the floor. That was a mouthful. Because I wanted my own space, I had a makeshift room in the corner of the living room on the second level with just a bed on the floor, TV, and a nightstand. This living room also happened to be the trophy room, as my family are all avid hunters and have many large deer and elk mounts on the walls all around what became my bedroom. That's creepy as fuck. I have grown up in bumfuck Egypt, Oklahoma, okay, around a whole bunch of hunters, and I can never get on board with staring at a deer head on the wall. Just don't like it. One night around 3 a.m., I was laying in bed in that stage where you're partially awake and can still hear stuff going on, but you're drifting off into sleep, when I heard this man's laugh. Ugh. It was a creepy, almost mischievous.
I was driving around to get my coffee, right? And I'm driving by the White Mountains, which is literally like right over there. And it's making me think of the time that me and my friend Jamie literally saw a flesh pedestrian in the middle of the woods behind her house. I've told this story on here before, but it's been a really long time. But I kind of wanted to tell it again because it's like fresh on my brain. Okay, so me and Jamie grew up in a really small town. Like everybody knows everybody. There's not much to do. Like there's no like, you know, children's community center or anything fun to do like that. So we would literally make our own fun. And what would we do for fun? We would go into the woods and fuck around. Her family owned a lot of land. They had like a little trailer, and they lived in a little trailer with a lot of fucking dogs. Looking back on it now, it was kind of a hoarder situation. But anyways, whatever. That's not the point of the story. They lived on like this property with a ton of land. Like I'm telling you, like trails out to in multiple directions. Like we were having the time of our lives out in these woods. They also, so there was like this stone wall though through each part that separated like the lands, the lands from the neighbors' lands or whatever. We knew that we were not supposed to cross over the what the fuck are they called? The separations. But what do you think we did on that lovely fine evening? We crossed over the barrier. So whatever, the second that we got over there though, that's when things started to like really feel different. Like I don't really know how to explain it. Maybe it was just like the fact that we were somewhere that we weren't supposed to be and we knew we weren't supposed to be there. But something about the energy of that portion of the woods just felt really off and kind of heavy. I remember walking by this ginormous oak tree, like one of those ones that you would see in maybe like a children's book or like a TV show or like a cartoon or something. You know, the one with like the big hole in the middle that like you always think squirrels are living in there or whatever. I don't know what it was about that tree itself, but it felt like it just didn't want us there. I ignored that feeling, whatever. We kept walking. And at some point we realized we don't know where the fuck we are. Oh shit. Then we started to realize like we don't know where the fuck we are. So then
Okay, so I actually have my own ghost story, and I'm gonna tell it to y'all while I eat a popsicle. I'm not one of those people who can make like story time videos while I'm like doing my makeup or doing my skincare. It's really hard for me to like do something and talk at the same time. So we're gonna eat a popsicle. Have y'all had these like trolley gummy popsicles? They're actually so freaking good. And they're really funny too. Like, look at that. They're like really wiggly. Anyway, okay, so I live in Texas now, but I'm originally from Arizona. And I grew up with my grandparents. So this happened to me whenever I think I was like a freshman in high school. We had a big house and we lived in New River. A lot of y'all might not know what that is, but it's like a town north of Phoenix. And we lived like in the mountains. We lived like in the desert, in the middle of freaking nowhere. We didn't even have street lights, like middle of nowhere. We had horses, so it's like more country out there where I lived. One night, I woke up in the middle of the night and all of my lights were off. So it was pretty dark in there. The only light I had coming into my room was from the moon, like the moon coming through my blinds. So there was like a little bit of light in my room, but not much. And so like I woke up and I sat up for some reason, which is already really weird. I feel like that's just not something I normally do. So I sat up and I looked in the corner of my room, which was by like my bedroom door. And I thought I saw one of our dogs. We had a Yorkie named Peanut at the time. And I thought I saw her sitting in the corner. So I was like tapping on my bed saying, "Come here, Peanut," you know, trying to get her to come on my bed. And then we could go to sleep. But then my eyes like started to adjust. And then there was nothing there at all. So I was like, okay. Anyway, so I went back to bed. And then probably like a few months later, I didn't think anything of that, by the way, but like a few months later, I woke up in the middle of the night again, and I'm laying in bed like this, and to the right of my bed, I had like closet sliding doors, and they were...
What the fuck was that? Bro!
What's going on around you?
I don't know. I'm frozen. I am frozen.
Did the window
Sean.
break?
Hey guys, we need to talk about something very serious that happened to me yesterday that I honestly forgot to tell anyone about. And I hope nobody walks into the bathroom as I'm telling this story. So yesterday, walking down the road, there's a flock of pigeons, but like, they move. I've never seen pigeons just sit idle. So I'm walking towards them like, okay, they're not moving. Okay, they're really not moving. Okay, I'm a step away. What do? I'm gonna look like an idiot if I stop in the middle of the like flow of traffic for birds, but also I don't want to be susceptible to whatever would happen if I stepped into the flock. But you know what I chose? One step in, I get consumed by pigeons. One touched me. I'm a little skittish today. I'm like walking today and like this pigeon, and I'm like, you know, your friend, you got touched by your friend, and yeah, I'm now scared of pigeons. I hope everyone's having a great week. Tomorrow's Friday, so that means the weekend's coming. I hope everyone has a glorious, safe weekend away from pigeons. Stay warm out there. Ciao. Sorry everyone, I was showing my colors a little bit. I didn't know the second button wasn't buttoned. And then I also, super fun, the New York City Pigeon Hunter.